My name is Rondine Da Costa, and I'm here in the busiest city, in the busiest parish in Jamaica, Halfway Tree. Specifically, we're at the Halfway Tree Transport Center. Now, I just want to give you a little background about the Halfway Tree Transport Center. It was built in 2008, and it was built entirely by Jamaican workers. It was funded by the Belgian government at the tune of about 4.5 billion Jamaican dollars. It is about 18,500 square meters in size, and this is where almost everybody who traverses from Portmore, St. Catherine, Spanish Town, Upper St. Andrew, downtown Kingston, everybody passes through Halfway Tree Transport Center to end up to their different destinations. Now, I just want you to get a view and to see how busy it is. So I'm just going to give you a pan of the area. Now, as you can see, it's very busy, and today is Saturday. It is not as busy as it would usually be, but it's still very busy. Traffic built up for a very long way back. Traffic built up for a very long way back. But today, we're not here to discuss Halfway Tree Transport Center. We're here actually now to get the public knowledge and to understand if persons are aware of what HPV is, and the fact that the government now, the Jamaican government, has instituted a vaccination program for our young girls. So I just want to get a feel of, do people know what HPV is? Do they know what the implications of HPV is? And if they're aware that there is a government vaccination program that's on the way, that has started and is for our young girls in the schools. So we just want to talk to a few people to get an understanding of them. So just walk with me while I try to find somebody who's passing, probably this young girl. Here. Hi, excuse me. Okay. So we just walk down his side and see if we find anybody who we can ask. Hi. Just one question. Just one question. Okay, so we're quite a shy few people. Hi, excuse me. Just one question, not for long. Just one. Okay. Hi, excuse me. I just want to ask you one question. It won't be hard. No, it won't be hard. It won't be hard. It won't be hard. It won't be hard. Hi, my name is Rondine. It won't be hard. And then since you have a young girl, it's very pertinent to you. My name is Rondine Da Costa from Jamaica Live. We're actually streaming live now via Facebook. So the question I want to ask is, do you know what HPV is?
Human Papillomavirus.
Human Papillomavirus. Are you aware that the government is now instituting a vaccination program to vaccinate our young girls?
Yes, I'm aware.
Okay. Now, do you know the side effects?
I can't tell you offhand, but I've seen it.
What side effects have you seen?
I don't quite remember what the side effects were, but I read about it recently. But to be very honest with you, I don't want to tell you and say the wrong thing.
Okay. Is this your granddaughter?
Yes, no, my daughter.
Your daughter? Okay.
Late bloomer. No, you don't need to apologize.
No problem. All right. Would you allow her to get vaccinated?
I mean, quite frankly, I am not against it. I'm an educator, and before I worked in the healthcare facilities for about 3.5 years, and I do appreciate the importance of vaccination. And if it is something that will preserve her, or it's good for her health, I really have no objections with it.
Well, let me ask, do you think that the majority of Jamaicans are aware of what HPV is and that the government is vaccinating against it?
No, I don't think they're aware of it. And maybe what the government should do is to have some form of educational drive so that persons understand and appreciate it. Because forcing them to do the vaccination, as Jamaicans, we don't like nobody holding a big sticks over our head. But once we are educated and we know the implications of it, then I don't think it will be so much of a problem.
All right, thank you very much for your time. That wasn't so hard, was it? All right, here's a card so you can actually view us, and you can tell your friends to watch it.
All right.
All right, so that was a very helpful person. So let me just run down these two young girls here to see if I can get an interview. Well, we're going to head into the transport center. Maybe we can get somebody to a bit more interactive in the transport center. Excuse me, gentlemen, excuse me. I have a small question if you can help me with it. Anybody? It's not too far. Maybe you can help me. It's not difficult. It's not difficult. Just one question. The question, do you know what HPV is? Yes. You don't know? Let me come and tell you. You don't wish to know? It affects you, you know, right? You can Google it. Tell me now. Turn around now. Alright, you want to answer? Alright, so I have a lot of shy people. Now we're in the transport center, and you can see this is the upper deck of the transport center. This is the upper deck, and all the buses traverse here and enter through the exit. So we're going to go down to the lower deck where most persons are, and then see if we can interact with a few more persons down there. Let me just ask this lady. Hello. Hello. Hi. Good afternoon. Hi. Good afternoon. Oh, God. Can we hear something? Oh, can't be on the inside. Oh. Alright, so we're honest now, we can't video on the inside, so we're going back on the outside to get some feedback. I want to get a few young persons to get their view to see if they know what HPV is and if they are aware of the vaccination program for it. So we're just going to head back down to this side here. We have a very lot of shy people. Let me see if I can ask these two young people. Hi, excuse me, just one question I want to ask. Not very hard, not very difficult. Just one. I have a lot of shy people. As you can see, as the evening gets, the traffic builds up more. And more persons turn out. Now during the day, during the week, this foot traffic you're seeing and the vehicular traffic is doubled, sometimes tripled. It's bumper to bumper, nowhere to go. We're just gonna wait until we see a few persons passing so we can probably get a few opinion from them. We have quite a lot of shy people in Jamaica, so you want to see. Excuse me, miss. Can I ask you one question? Excuse me, miss. Can I ask you one question? Not very hard, not very difficult. Do you know what HPV is? HPV? No? Okay, so I found somebody who doesn't know what HPV is. Let's walk some more down. Hi, good afternoon. Two very nice young ladies. I'm sure I just have one question I want to ask. Do you know what HPV is? No? Sir, do you know what HPV is?
Not today, please.
Okay, so we still have a few shy people. We're gonna cross the road, see if we can go down and get some more persons.
Eventually I will, but I just gotta take it slow. Don't wanna break her heart, although I gotta let her go. So baby, say you wanna give her. How do I tell her that I'm falling in love? And I know you wouldn't listen to her.
So we've moved away a little bit from the transport center and heading further down into the heart of Africa, closer to the clock. Hi, excuse me. I just have one question I can ask you. Not very hard. Still have very shy people. So I'm gonna ask if I can ask this someone. Sorry, afternoon, one minute, no, 1 minute. I just want to ask one question. From Jamaica Live, Randy. Do you know what HPV is? HPV.
No, sir.
Don't know what HPV is? Human Papillomavirus.
What is that?
No, that is the virus that causes cervical cancer. It's a STD, the most commonly transmitted STD worldwide, and it's the second most cause of cervical cancer in women. Never heard of it?
No, sir.
Okay. Sorry, you don't mind me asking you, you're a schooler or you're working?
Schooler, sir.
Schooler?
Yes, sir.
So you have not heard about the program? Which school you attend? Well,
Mavis Bankai.
Mavis Bankai.
Yes.
So the government has not come into your school, the Ministry of
Probably not
Health?
as yet.
Not,
Not as yet.
not as yet?
They probably. Yeah.
Okay. Alright, and you don't know what it is?
No, sir.
Well, you can research it. It's one of the most transmitted STD worldwide. Alright, thank you for your cooperation. You can view this online. Facebook. So we found a young man who doesn't know what HPV is. He attends in high school and has no idea what the HPV virus is. So we continue to find about that many persons are either unaware of what it is or they're afraid to talk about it. But we're gonna try again.
Big long ride, the road, people down now. I want to
So we're waiting to go across the street on the other side to see if we can get some person to talk to us. Alright, so we're further down into half a tree. So I want to see if I can get a few persons to ask. Let me just wait until I get somebody passing. Yes, thank you. Hi, good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon. Just one question. Hi, good afternoon. Hi. I don't know if I could ask you a question.
No problem.
Okay. Alright, so I'm Rondine Da Costa. We're streaming live now from Jamaica Live.
Okay.
I just have one question. Do you know what HPV is?
Let me think about it.
Okay.
HPV.
Alright. Have you ever heard the initials?
I think it's helping people.
Do you want me to help you?
Yeah.
Okay. It stands for Human Papillomavirus. Have you heard that?
No.
Have you ever heard about cervical cancer?
Yes.
Okay. Now, HPV is the most common virus that causes cervical cancer.
Okay.
Okay. So you've never heard the government or anybody on the news or in the
Don't
public
really
area?
watch news, you know?
You don't watch news?
No.
So where you get your information from?
Internet.
The internet. Okay. So when you do have the time, you should go and research HPV. Now, HPV is as I said, the leading cause of cervical cancer in women. Now, it is also one of the most widely transmitted STD worldwide. Did you know that?
Yes.
You did?
Yes.
Okay. So, are you aware that there's a vaccine out for it?
No, I wasn't aware of that.
Okay, so that's what we're trying to find out. We're trying to find out if the government has done enough public education in terms of educating people about the virus and about the vaccination that they are proposing to have in our school. Do you have any children?
No, I have no kids.
No kids.
But well, normally when there's a virus going around, I normally see they send out people giving away slips saying this virus is out or something. But I've never seen somebody with that information saying that it's taking place or saying government has provided a vaccine or anything to prevent it.
Okay, so you think that they need to do more public education?
More public education and more upliftment about it and knowledge. Okay. More knowledge.
And you should also educate yourself as well, because it really does affect you quite a bit. I mean, both men and women are infected, but women end up with cervical cancer if it is not treated early.
Okay, so is the vaccine out?
Well, the vaccine has been out since the 2nd of October. What they're trying to do is to vaccinate the young girls that are in the schools. First of all, it's optional. They say that it's free of cost and it's optional, but there are many side effects to it that I think public needs to be aware of, and the government needs to do more public education in terms of doing that. So,
okay, thank you for actually giving me a little knowledge about it. So when I go home, I'll do more research on it and let you know. Thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome. All right. Oh, here.
Thank you.
So at a very excuse me. It's not hard. It's not hard. It's not hard. It's just one question. My name is Rondine Da Costa from Jamaica Live. We're streaming live Facebook right now. The question I want to ask you: do you know what HPV is?
Yes, I do.
You do. Okay. Do you know that the government has instituted a vaccination program for HPV?
Yes, I heard it on the news.
Okay. Do you know that the side effects of the HPV virus?
No, I don't know.
Okay. What did you hear on the news though?
What I actually heard is that they want to give it to the students, the first formers in high schools, but they put a hold on it or something like that.
Yeah, they put a hold because they're saying that more public education needs to be done. That's why we're out here now. We're trying to understand is the public really aware of, do they know what HPV is?
I don't think most persons are not aware of what it actually is.
And I agree with you, because it's the one of the most widely spread STD that's out there.
I think they should have done a public education on it before they go ahead and institute all of that.
I agree with you. Right, so that's what I wanted to ask, so we can get to understand what people know. Here, it's our card. You can view us online when you're ready, and you can follow us. All right, thank you. So, based on what I'm seeing, the demographic is that the persons who the vaccinations is supposed to really help don't really even know what HPV is. They've never even heard what HPV is. So it seems that not only with the public, but in the schools, teachers and the government needs to really go in and make sure that, listen, hey, this is a very widespread problem, and it can affect you, and it's very dangerous. And even with the vaccination, the education within the school is very, very lacking. Let's see if I can ask this young man. Hi, excuse me, just one small question. No, it's not hard. Trust me, I promise, it's not hard. Hi, good afternoon. I just have one small question. It's not hard. Hi, good afternoon. It's not a very hard question. Alright, well, a lot of people dodge it. But Jamaicans are typical like that. They are very shy of the camera. Hi, good afternoon. Hi, good afternoon. Can I ask you a question? Not hard. Hi, good afternoon. Can I ask you just one small question? It's not going to be difficult, I promise. It's not difficult. Can I ask you? It's not difficult, trust me.
What's the question?
What's the question? Okay. All right. No, I know. All right, do you know what HPV is?
No.
The Human Papillomavirus? All right, do you know what cervical cancer is? All right. Recently, the government has instituted a vaccination against HPV. Now, HPV is the Human Papillomavirus. That's what it stands for. Now, it is the leading cause of cervical cancer in women. The government has instituted a vaccination program in our schools for our young girls, so that to help them. So, okay, you've heard about it, right? You just didn't remember. Okay, all right. So, what we're trying to do is to get a feel of the public awareness. You know, how many persons really know what HPV is? How many persons really know what the implications of having HPV? Or how many persons know the vaccination and the side effects of it? So that's what we're out here doing. But the reception have been that most persons don't know. Do you think that? Well, go ahead.
All right. First, I heard about it at my son's school this September of this year, right? So I think that what the government should do is do a proper public education on it. So whether broadcast it on the television, news, whatever it is, so that parents and people on a whole could get a better understanding of what it is it preventing, and as you said, side effects if there are any.
Thank you very much. Because I've the persons I've spoken to coming down, I realize that most young persons are not even aware what HPV is. They don't know what it is. You heard from your son's school. Okay. All right. Thank you much. Here's your card. You can view us online and view the interview. Okay. Thank you. We had a very willing participant. Yes. Well, since you mentioned it, let me ask you. It's a very small question. All right, my name is Rondine. We're from Jamaica Live. We're streaming live now. Streaming live. No, the question we're trying to find out from persons is that do you know what HPV is? H as in hot, P as in Paul, and V as in virus. You've never heard of HPV? Well,
Let me hear.
no, not HIV. HPV.
I don't know it.
You don't know? All right. HPV stands for the Human Papillomavirus. No, you ever heard of cervical cancer before?
Yeah, I heard that.
All right. Now, cervical cancer most times is caused by the HPV virus. Now, the government has decided that they're going to vaccinate our young girls against HPV from a younger age so that when they get older, they won't have the cervical cancer. Now, the thing is that as we're going through and trying to get a public education as do people really know what HPV is? Do they know about the vaccination? Do they know about the side effects of the vaccination? So that's what we're trying to find. So you're saying you don't know about the vaccination?
No, I don't know about it.
But you just know that cervical cancer exists?
Yeah, I don't hear that.
Have you ever had anybody who has been affected by cancer?
Yeah, man.
Yeah? So which cancer?
Cancer in the womb.
Cancer of the womb is the same thing as a cervical cancer. That's where it starts from. So, well, this is our card. You can go online, you can view the interview, you can view us, you can view what other persons we're talking about and what other persons are saying. But thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Excuse me, just one small question I want to ask. Can I ask you? It's not very hard. I promise, it's not very hard. It's very small. Excuse me, I just want to ask one small question. It's not very hard. Excuse me, can I ask you one small question? It's not very, can I ask you? I see you sidestepping me. Can I ask you a question? It's not very hard.
No, Kingston, no, Kingston, no, Kingston.
Bye. Come out to the road. Hi, how are you? I'm Rondine from Jamaica Live. Alright, the question we're trying to find out is, do you know what HPV is?
HPV, well,
Alright, do you know what cervical cancer is?
severe cancer.
No, cervical.
Oh, not really.
You know what cervical cancer? Sorry?
I know what it cancer is. Prostate cancer.
Well, not prostate cancer. This is cervical cancer, which affects.
It affects your whole body.
Well, it affects your womb. Alright, well, the reason we're trying to find out if persons know is that the government has now instituted a vaccination program against HPV for young girls. Have you heard about that on the news?
Yeah, but I'm not young.
It still can affect you though. But it's also, do you have any kids?
Yeah.
Girls?
I have 2 boys and 1 girl now.
Exactly, so that it affects your daughter. How old is she?
33.
Oh, 33. Does she have any kids?
No.
She doesn't have any kids yet. But yeah, but the HPV virus it's an STD. It's very widespread and it's a leading cause of cervical cancer. So we're out here just trying to get a feel of persons who are aware of it. Do they know about the vaccine? Do they know about the side effects? And do they know that will be implemented in our school or the young girls? They say, I've not heard anything about that at all.
I heard about it still.
Where did you hear about it?
I hear that a health center since about in the day today.
In the day today?
Yeah.
Okay. So you think that they need to do more in terms of educating people about it? Or you think you got enough information?
No, I don't get it. We need to know more people about it now, right now.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much. Alright, here's our card. You can see us all.
Stop light. Stop light, man, if you stop light. Stop light, man, if you. Don't make that time. Yeah, we got it, man, thank you.
Hi, good afternoon. Just a question. Do you know what the HPV virus is? Excuse me, just a quick question. Do you know what the HPV virus is? Do you know what HPV stands for?
HPV?
Yes.
Human.
You're on the right track. Well, let me help you. It stands for Human Papillomavirus. Do you know what cervical cancer is?
Yeah.
Alright, so the HPV virus is one of the leading causes of cervical cancer.
Okay.
You know that? Alright, have you heard that the government is instituting a vaccination program for young girls in our schools?
Yeah, I heard about that.
Where did you hear about it from?
On TV.
On TV. Okay, so did you hear about the side effects, the effects when you have vaccinated our young girls? Did you hear about what are the results or how it affects them? Otherwise, apart from protecting them against the virus?
No.
No. So do you think that the government needs to do more public education in terms of educating our people about the HPV virus and the vaccination?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any kids?
Yeah.
Girl or boy?
Have to say?
No, well, you don't have to say. I was just thinking that both girls and boys can be affected by it because it's actually an STD and it's the most easiest and the most transmitted STD there is. So the reason I ask is not really differentiate whether they have a girl or boy, but maybe if we knew more about it, we could educate them. So that's why we're here trying to get a feel of how the education level is with everybody. So do you think you probably could need a bit more education?
Yeah.
Alright, so here is our card. You can view us online and get a synopsis of the interview and what other people are saying. Alright, thank you. Hi, could I just ask you a quick question about the HPV virus? It's not very hard. So we're going up some more, trying to get persons to talk to us. It's not very easy, but Jamaicans are usually like that.
What's that all about?
Can I ask you a question? It's not very hard. It's not very hard. Alright, do you know what the HPV is?
Well, you can explain.
Well, HPV, the human papillomavirus.
Right. Yes, I'm aware of it, but I wanted you to explain to me.
Okay. Well, the reason we're out here. Can we just come out to
I work in a medical facility.
Oh, you work in a medical facility?
We're actually offering vaccine as well.
Right. So that is where. Oh well, this is perfect. Now we have somebody who really can explain to us. No, let's come. No, let's come out of the way a little bit. No, man, it won't be hard. No, it's not difficult. No, the reason we're here is not even to learn about the virus or the vaccination. What we're trying to find out is public education, because coming up from the transport center all the way here, I get a feeling that most persons don't even know what HPV is.
It's true.
Right. And it is one of the most, well, one of the most widely transmitted STD there is. And it affects both men and women. Exactly. So we get a feeling that these persons really don't know. And the government is going to vaccinate, but most persons, exactly.
Yeah. And the thing about it too is that persons, as soon as they hear about vaccine, they tend to give a negative response, right? Because persons really don't know the benefits of some vaccine, and reason being because of past history. The person may have had situations where they had gotten a vaccine and they said that they were okay, and then they may have developed some form of illness that they're saying that is related to taking the vaccine.
And I'm very happy you said that.
From a nurse point of view and a medical point of view, I would advise anyone that is aware of this disease or do not know that you could go ahead and do additional information. You could also go to your regular family physician, right, and ask them to advise you, and to see how much you can be educated, because it's very important.
Yeah, it's very, very important. And I'm actually very glad you talk about the side effects, because I did some research myself. I mean, I'm not in the medical field. I'm just here trying to get a view of the whole public perception of it. I did some research myself, and I've seen where there have been claims of persons dying from taking the HPV vaccination, persons who have lost the use of their lower limbs, persons who have so many varied side effects. So I've heard the government telling us that yes, we're going to inoculate our young girls because it helps to prevent this cancer later on down, but I've not heard anything in terms of these are the side effects.
Precisely.
Right, because I even read that in India it was banned. I read that in India it was banned because of the implications of how, and they needed to do more research onto the side effects.
From a scientific point of view, I can't say much, right? I can only speak of based on testimonial, right? Not for this particular disease, but other diseases. However, I mean, it's each individual responsibility, right? We have the responsibility to do our research, to get more information, right, on this form of disease and whatever medication, whatever vaccine, right? Because sometimes things may happen, right? For example, you took a medication, right? Say today and tomorrow you started to experience side effects. It not necessarily means that it's a medication or the vaccine that you are actually was administered or taken.
That's coincidence. It
can be coincidence, as well as it can be a situation inside the system that was progressing, and then unfortunately.
And as Jamaicans, once anything, if we do something now and then we feel sick, it's because of that.
No, man, and the medication will get, man, but it's not like that. So basically, I mean, the most that we can do is to protect ourselves, right? But at the other hand, how careful can you be? Because, for example, we have persons that are married, because they always talk about sex out of marriage. So the moment sex out of marriage, you go there, catch something, you're to be blamed, right? You're responsible. But what are those that are married, happily, we're saying that they're happily married in a committed relationship, but unfortunately, an individual, right, in the relationship is not faithful, and they go out there and bring a certain, right? So the end of the day is that it's there, and we have to take whatever necessary prevention, and measures to prevent these things from happening, right? Because listen, you see, if you have it, at the end of the day, guess what? This is. At the end of the day, you're still gonna deteriorate slowly if you're not getting treatment, right? And if you haven't set things in place for this prevention as well, and you're living certain lifestyle, then
it will happen,
right? So the good thing that I could say, right, and I'm happy that it's actually male that is actually interviewing about, right? So what I can say to the public, right, just go to your family doctor, ask them just to advise you, how best to give you more information, because information is power, right? Knowledge is power, and you can also do your research.
Right. Thank you very much.
My name is Nurse Pink, and I'm from Nurse Pink, as in the color pink.
Nurse Pink.
Yes, and I work at the Winchester Surgical and Medical Institute. That's on Winchester Road.
Okay, I'm sure. Did you hear that? Nurse Pink, Winchester Business Center and Medical.
No, not Business Center.
So Winchester Surgical and Medical Institute.
Okay,
That's on
that.
Winchester Road, 3A
Okay.
Winchester
3A.
Road. Right. A lot of times we get mixed up with Winchester Business Center, but it's actually Winchester Road.
Okay, that's. Oh.
Right. So
Yes, I know where you're talking.
Right.
All right, thank you much. This is our card. You can view us online and view the interview.
Right. And
Thank you very much.
All right. Have a great weekend.
Thanks, you too.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, so that was Nurse Pink. That was a very good interview. All right, so we're going to see if we can probably talk to a few more persons. Hopefully we'll get a favorable response. Young man, 1 sec, give me a minute. 1 minute, not that long. 1 sec. Just waiting to see if we see anybody else pass. We can ask. So we are going a little bit outside of Halfway Tree. We're up Hope Road. Good afternoon, ladies. Can I just ask you a very small question? Do you know what HPV is? HPV.
Human Papillomavirus.
Right. Just one second. That can take long. Okay. Do you know? Say you know what the human papillomavirus is?
Yeah.
And you know what it causes?
Sir.
Cervical cancer. No, it's not long.
Cervical cancer.
It's not. It's not a very hard question. Do you know that the government is now instituting a vaccination program for our kids? Right.
Them do it in a couple schools well already, and some girls turn it down and things.
Where did you hear about it?
On the TV.
On the news, the regular news.
I think so.
Okay. What we're trying to just find out is that do you think that everybody or there is enough public education about the virus itself and the vaccination?
No, it should be more broadcast so that everyone should know about it. The vaccine should be taken. You protect yourself just like how you get your vaccination from your child to protect yourself against the mums or the one of those stuff. Them stuff.
I understand.
Yeah.
No, that's one other thing. Do you know of the side effects of the vaccination?
No, I know.
You don't know?
No, but everything has side effects. If you're going to take some antibiotics, you might have a headache or whatever. Everything has side effects.
But if the vaccination for HPV was paralysis, where you can't use your legs, do you think that it's still worth the risk?
No.
Because I've researched, I mean, I'm not an expert on HPV either.
Yeah.
I'm just here trying to find out if persons know what it is and know the side effects.
So that is the side effect though?
One of the side effects is that I've seen persons who have lost the use of their limbs, persons who have died.
Out of 10 persons will lose their legs.
Okay, so you're thinking that once the percentage is low, then the risk is okay to take?
Yeah.
Okay.
Suppose is 1 out of every 10 persons, then you can chance it.
Yeah.
And not every.
Do you have any kids?
No.
But if you did, just a hypothetical question, if you did, and there's a chance of, she being paralyzed by taking the vaccine, would you let her take it still?
I mean,
you know that 1 out of every 10 persons will either die or get paralyzed. Would you still let her take it?
I would.
You would?
Yes, I would.
because cervical cancer is that dangerous.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
right.
Thanks. I had a very willing participant. That was a very good interview. Afternoon. Afternoon. Is this your son? Yeah. No, I just want to ask him one question. It's not you really, just him. Let's ask you a small question. You know what HPV is? No? Alright, the HPV, let me just tell you. The HPV is a human papillomavirus. Now, it's one of the viruses that causes cervical cancer. Have you heard about the government now instituting a vaccination against a certain? You heard about it?
Yeah.
Alright. Where you heard about it?
In the newspaper.
The newspaper. Alright. Do you think there is enough public education in relation to the virus itself, HPV virus, and the vaccination?
No, I don't think there is.
You don't think there is? Why you don't think so?
Because if is it that you're saying you're educating somebody about it, right? And if I am a person who have not heard about it, that means that there must be many more persons that hasn't heard about the virus.
And you're absolutely right about that.
Yes.
Because we're coming up and then we've gotten a lot of persons not even knowing what HPV is. I mean, you ask them about the cervical cancer and they'll say that yes, you know, they know what cervical cancer is, but they're not aware that HPV, the virus, is one of the leading cause of cervical cancer in women. But do you know it's also one of the most widely spread STD there is worldwide?
No, I don't know that.
Right. Did you know it's an STD?
No.
Well, it's an STD. It's widely spread. I mean, it's the most widely spread STD there is, because most persons don't even know they have it. Because having the HPV can take 10 to 15 years to develop into cervical cancer. Now, do you I'm asking, you attend school?
Yes, I do.
And in school, did the administrator of the school come in with any pamphlets, any public education, anything like that?
Even school person, so I wouldn't know.
You wouldn't know.
No, I wouldn't know what they told the day at school or what.
Okay. Well, we're Jamaica Live, and we're actually streaming live now on Facebook. My cards are finished, but you can just go on Facebook, type in Jamaica Live. You'll see us. You can view this interview, and you can see what other people are saying. So thank you very much.
Yeah, man. Thanks. Man.
All right. I think I want to get at least 2 more persons to get their view to see if they know what it is. Hi, good afternoon. Let me ask you one question. It won't take long. It won't be hard. It won't be hard. Do you know what HPV is? Do you know what HPV is? HPV? Do you attend school? You don't attend school, you're out school. Alright, let me tell you what, you know what cervical cancer is?
No, but
You won't be long. Hi, good afternoon. Do you know what HPV is?
no, I don't.
This won't be long, you won't be long.
Hold on,
Alright, HPV is a human papillomavirus, the virus that causes cancer. Have you heard about the government now instituting a vaccination program for our girls? No. Well, what the government has decided to do that because the HPV virus is the leading cause of cervical cancer. You know that cervical cancer is one of the leading causes of death in women. So what they've decided is to vaccinate persons. So if you don't know, do you attend high school?
Yes, I attend Alpha Academy.
So you have not heard about anything, persons coming in and really educating you on it? Okay.
First time hearing.
First time hearing about it. Alright, thank you. Well, I suggest or encourage you to go and do Google, read about it, read about the vaccination and the side effect, because you are the generation that are affected by it.
Okay.
Alright, thanks. Alright, so there you have it. We have traversed from the transport center. We're almost all the way up Hope Road, and we've been asking persons if they know what HPV is. We've gotten myriad of answers. Some person said yes, some person says no. Some person know what cervical cancer is. They're not sure what causes it. They're unaware that there is a vaccination program out there. They're unaware of the side effects of it. So it's difficult for a person to make very informed decisions if they're not publicly or not adequately informed. I think the government needs to do more in terms of informing the nation before they institute it wholesalely. But for now, all they're doing is really just trying to educate people that, listen, HPV exists, causes cancer. It's one of the most widely spread STD there is. It causes cervical cancer. There's a vaccination out, and the side effects of that vaccination. If it is that you're able to get vaccinated, the side effects that exist, will you still risk being vaccinated? So thank you for walking with us. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for watching. My name is Rondin Da Costa. Until next time, see you. This is Jamaica Live. Bye.